All right, we are back on the Frazer Smith Show, presented by the Accident Attorney, SweetJames.com. If you've been hurt in an accident, call 1-800-9-MILLION. And joining us right now, sitting on his coin-operated bed in Vegas, comedian Carlos Mencia, our buddy. What up?
I'm telling you, bro. I got that throwback room. Look at the decor, bro.
I like it.
Look at
Yeah, look out.
look at the patent leather, bro.
wow, look at the
Yeah, come on, man. Where's
Yeah,
Elvis?
the flamingo room right
That's
there.
a
There's a
hunk of
flamingo in my
room.
that dude. It's and then way over there you have that like the U-shaped thing, couch for no reason whatsoever.
That
Yeah, of course.
wallpaper is
The one
best.
no one can ever sit on because they're too uncomfortable.
Yeah, but that's the one where every guy and chick tries to do some funky, position.
Yeah.
That's the one that I want to bring a red light and just light that up.
I
over
wouldn't
there.
sit
No, I don't
I
think
would
you
not
really
sit
do
there.
want to do that.
No, I don't.
You don't want to know
Yeah.
where that's
It's
been.
one of those things, where you're like, I want to do it, and then when you see it, you're like, oh my god, I can't
God.
believe I did that. Why?
I need a new
Right
room.
there. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, are you a fan of the old school Mexican comedians like Cantinflas, and did you follow any of that stuff when you were coming?
Not their stand up, but yeah, their careers. Yeah, I mean, but those guys, for the longest time, like anything else, right? You have to crawl before you walk. And, look, let's bring it to now. I truly believe that the younger generation hasn't given the homage and respect to Paul Rodriguez.
Oh, I
When you
agree
hear
that.
young comedians
Yeah.
talk about Paul, they'll say something like, oh man, he used to throw tortillas on stage. You know what I mean? I don't know about that. It was like he was there doing that before anybody was able to. Because before you did those jokes, the Mexican Express card, and he pulled out a knife. But before that, you couldn't do, Carlos Mencia. You couldn't do George Lopez. You couldn't go up there and pontificate about being an American and all this stuff because that's not the way the world saw us. I mean, for Christ's sakes, the reason I changed my name in 1988 to Ned Mencia, to Carlos Mencia, was because people just saw me as a Latino. And Ned literally made people go, wait, what? Who is this
Got
kid?
them all confused.
He looks like this. He talks like from East LA, but what is going on? I swear to God, the minute I became Carlos Mencia, everybody literally was like, oh, perfect. I see. That's what this guy is.
Wow, interesting.
It was never
Now it
like
makes
that.
sense.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think that people have given it, and I think that some of the sadness that's been coming from Paul is that young guys don't give him that. So I think you should give respect and homage to those before us because it's what it's like. It's like when black people go, man, if I was there, I wouldn't have been a slave. Yeah, it is easy to say that, bro. It is easy to say that now when you have freedoms, when you can say no, when you can, talk back to a cop if you want to, or if somebody has a phone, you can do pretty much whatever you want because it wasn't like that before. I remember as a kid, my mom and dad used to hit me. And, today my kids are like, man, dad, I would have just, no, you wouldn't have. You have no idea. Dude, when
They don't know.
No, when my mother said Inca, would you get on your knees, dude? You just went into, I'll clean the house. I'll do whatever you want. I'll walk to Honduras.
Yeah.
I'll bring the rest of our Indian family back. What do you want me to do, Mom? Like, it doesn't.
No, they didn't play.
No.
They didn't play.
No. And they were different. And I think that, you need to respect that. You could not be Richard Pryor without Dick Gregory.
There
without
you go.
The step infections before that.
There you go.
Without Mom's Maybelline.
Do you think the kids of today don't do their homework in that regard?
No, they don't. They just look at their day. They're about today. They're about right now. They think you know what? It's like young comedians today. They're like, yeah, that joke is mine. Dude, that joke about your mother and your father doing this and that was written, dude, 1,000 years ago.
Leave Willie Barcena out of this.
No, but I know what you're saying because
because they all come from, you know what it's like? Here's what it's like. It's like if you were in a car. It happens to me all the time, by the way. I'm in a car with some kids, and they hear a song that just came out, and they go, man, this song is amazing. And I go, it is. and let me show the origins of that song. And then I'll play them, a song from 20 years ago. And then I'll show you the actual original song that this was from.
Yeah.
And I'll go to something 40, 45 years ago. And then they'll go, oh my God, I thought this was like an original thing that I've never heard before.
It happens in music all the time. You're
Robin
right.
Thicke is doing Marvin Gaye.
Everything everything's just
Yes.
repeating older stuff that and you hear it with a lot of bands that do covers too. A lot of people don't know it's a cover.
Right, and you have to tell these kids it's not it. So you have to go back and respect those people
Those
did
that
it
came
first.
before.
Yeah.
Those that were able to do that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You couldn't be Santana. With somebody without Joan Baez
or without
before
Pérez
that,
Prado.
you know what I mean? There's somebody out there, even the guys that you were talking about, the Tres Patines, the Cantinflas, those guys, the Chespiritos of the world, even in Spanish.
They're the OGs.
They're the OGs that used to do choke jokes. You know what they're the Henny Youngmans. They're the Take My Wife Please. You know what I'm saying?
Someone called me an OG the other day. I was like, original gangster? They're like, no, old gringo.
You are OG.
Why did
dude.
they say that?
You're very OG.
You're fine, dude. You're fine. You're fine with us, Frazer. You're fine with us.
He's an honorary Mexican. You know that.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
But I think that you got to look back to look forward and to be to be good with that and to know that and no respect isn't paid to those people and homage.
I agree with you, and I'm glad you said that about Paul. He needs to get more respect because he is a pioneer.
He's the grandfather of comedy.
Yeah,
whatever
he's
you
a pioneer. And do you think some of it is today is the technology? I mean, if a kid wants to know something today, they just Google it, as opposed to where we had to do some investigative. We had to go read something or read up on someone from the past. Do you think
I hear what you're saying. But isn't that easier? Like, I don't understand. I just think that everybody's lazy. Because you're right. If I needed to know, man, who is this comedian? I had to go to a library.
Yep.
I had to ask them for that microfiche or the place where they had the film, the 8mm films. And then I had to see if it was okay. Or maybe later on in life we could have a VHS tape where they would, this is Richard Pryor, or this is who this is, or this is Moms Mabley, or these are the Step and Fetch It days of white people in blackface, and then the black people in blackface. And then this is a movie that was made a few years ago about Manpan Lupan and how that happened in court of Spike Lee movie. So check that out. Yeah, it's easier today than it was for us because what I just told you would take days at a library. Today, all you got to do is,
that's right.
I'm stupid and I have a phone. Google, tell me something. Alexa, tell me something. Siri, tell me something. Chat, GPT. Oh, my God. I mean, how hard is it for it to spit out? The first comedian who ever did a big special that stayed alive is Paul Rodriguez. Everybody thought it was going to be Freddie Prinze, but Freddie Prinze passed away before he was really able to do a special, but he came out with an album. Paul Rodriguez was on HBO. Paul Rodriguez had a TV show, had this movie, had this movie. Yeah, it's easy to find out if you want to. It really is.
Oh, you're right. So that's laziness.
Bro.
That's laziness.
Lazy.
Yeah. I was talking about the moonwalk the other day about Michael Jackson, and of course, if you go back, there was a black dancer in I think the 40s that did the moonwalk way before Michael ever did.
Yeah, but you know what's funny because for us, we remember it. We remember it when we were watching that TV show, and he came out and he did the moonwalk, and we all went, "Oh my God!"
Yeah,
and. Listen, it happened to me. So the joke that I did on No Strings Attached in 2002, right? So pretty much 2006. So 20 years ago, it came out about the high mom and the dad, and it was a joke that sounded like a Cosby joke. And then somebody a week ago, sent me a video of somebody on a talk show in 1972, earlier than that, doing that same premise of fathers teach their kids how to run, how to do this, how to do that. And then when the camera goes on, they go, "Hi, Mom." Yeah. Mom had nothing to do with it. What are you talking about? And that premise was done like 5 years before even that special came out.
Even before Cosby did it.
Because we're always derivative, right?
Yeah.
We always come from somewhere. Stealing something, that's something different, right? That's trying to steal something is the difference when Vanilla Ice, right? Instead of saying I sampled it, right? Or yeah, of course that's what it is. He went, no. His goes dun 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 dun. Our goes dun 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 dun.
Yeah, there's
and
always
that's when it's like,
yeah.
Come on, dude.
Come on.
Come on. Not only did you have that dun dun dun, dun you have the ding ding. That's different. Just say you did it. Say you
plagiarism,
were influenced by it, right? Say you were influenced by it, and then you move on. The thing about me is I wasn't influenced by the big guys because when I started doing stand-up, I didn't know stand-up at all, Fraze. I had no idea what stand-up was. The other day, I was performing. I was thinking about you, bro, because you always used to host when I did the Ice House.
Right.
I was doing the Ice House the other day, and I look over on Saturday's second show, and I go, oh, my God, Lana, what is up with you? It's a girl I used to date when I was 19. Well, Lana is the reason I got into stand-up. So Lana got free tickets to go to the Improv, and she still does, by the way. She works for the city. Anyway, she got a phone call, and she's like, do you want 4 tickets to go to the Improv? So she said to me, hey, I got 4 tickets to go to the Improv. You want to go see some comedy? And I'm like, what is a comedy club? What is that? I don't know what it is. And she goes, you'll have fun. Let's go. And we went, and I remember there were 5 comedians, but I remember Paula Poundstone.
Right.
And I remember Rick Dukeman. And
yes.
Rick Dukeman did this bit about being in line at the supermarket behind this old lady who didn't have her ID, and she pulled out a check, and she pulled out coupons, that kind of thing. And then she got something that didn't have a price tag. And he just kept getting angrier and angrier. And I remember, oh, my God, I could connect with that frustration. And that night, bro, was the night that I had the thought, I could do that. I could be a comedian. That was the night, bro.
Interesting.
And so I looked at her and I said to the audience, give her a round of applause. She's the reason I'm a
Wow.
comedian. She took me to a comedy club.
It all came full circle.
It's always something, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
And she was still hot and everything. It was awesome, bro.
Wow, man. That's nice. That's a good story.
All
right. Irvine's coming up, and they're looking forward to having you out there. I was out there with Kevin Nealon the other night, and they're all saying that you're coming. They're excited.
So excited.
It's a good
right now,
good
bro.
club
I've never been better right now. Never been more incisive. Here's what it is. I think that when you age as a comedian, you either become angry and crotchety, and you know what I mean, because you gave up too much to get the money that you have. You sacrifice too much to become that, so you become angry and bitter, or you think you should be at level A and you're at level C and you're angry and bitter, or you just begin to learn how to embrace life and allow those things to come. And I'm so much better at being me. Like, I have never been edgier than I am before, bro. Never been edgier. But I don't want people anymore.
Yeah.
People don't leave my shows anymore. Like, last night was a perfect example. They were so sensitive when I got up on stage. And I said to them, you know what? You guys need what happened to me. And I talked to them about being invited to an LGBTQ show. That changed my life. Because, bro, I was invited to an LGBTQ show, and at the end of the show, I said to my friend, please, 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 you need to get me on stage. You really need to get me on stage. And he said, okay. So at the end of the show, I go on stage, and I tell the audience, hey, you guys having fun? And they were like, it was amazing. I told them, it was amazing to watch what you saw until it wasn't amazing anymore. And they all went, what do you mean? And I said, every joke that you guys pretty much told was a joke that if I told to my audiences, you guys would call me homophobic. You guys would say I'm transphobic, but you guys were laughing at it, and it was okay. And this one guy goes, yeah, but that's because we're all LGBTQ and it's cool. And I said, but I thought the whole point was we're all equals.
There you
when
go.
you told me as a gay community you wanted my equality, I said yes. But when I'm a comedian and I say I want your equality and I can tell the gay jokes that you guys tell here, you're telling me that I can't because we're not equals? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one guy said, Carlos, you can tell F jokes, and he yelled out the word. And then I started doing F jokes, and they all and we just had.
They loved it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I started telling stories about.
Yeah.
Like I started telling stories about my friend Tim, who, this is a true story. When we were 16, he came out of the closet. But it was this really big thing for him, right? For him, it was like, guys, I just want you to understand that if this changes our relationship, I'm not changing. You are. I'm accepting who I am, and this is who I am, and I've struggled with this. And guys, I'm gay. And I swear to God, I looked at him and I was like, You're the only one that didn't know, bro.
We've known for 16
we
years.
were literally contemplating, like, how do we do an intervention to get him
we
out
tell
of
him.
the closet? Like, how do we open this door for him? I mean, he thought we didn't know, bro. We sat in his house and watched on a Betamax, not even VHS, Grease, so many times, bro, that I literally knew the words to the song at the end that doesn't even have that many words. The one that goes, we go together like ding dong, I know all that boobity bobbity stuff. Why? Because of him, bro. Because of him, dude.
Oh,
he
man.
was so gay. We had to watch musicals, bro. And so
I think we knew. Yeah.
No surprise.
What it did was it made me go, oh, this is about, if you're a Latino, you can do Latino jokes because it's a comfort. If you're black, you can do N-word jokes because it's a comfort. I'm going to create that comfort in my shows without everybody having to go to those specific shows. And that's pretty much what I do.
Well, you do. You cross barriers. And that's what you've always done, man. Well, we're looking forward to Irvine. I know you're going to have some great shows there. I know you're in Vegas at Harrah's and doing a great job there.
Every Tuesday and Wednesday, bro. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm at Harrah's, 10 o'clock shows at Jimmy Kimmel's. And, I'm going to be...
Oh, that's right. You're at Jimmy Kimmel's. That's right.
Jimmy Kimmel's every Friday and Saturday at 10 o'clock. So
beautiful.
Yeah, this is going great. Oh, and afterwards, we do karaoke. So that's awesome too, because of,
I don't know. I've heard you sing. I don't know. That's a good idea.
And I would keep Mel out of there at karaoke because you want to have a crowd.
We'll get like 4 really bad singers, 5 really bad singers, and then we'll get one that'll just be unbelievable. But yes,
there's always
there's always the person that wants to sing "Dream On," but can't hit a higher note than a C.
Thank God for delusional people.
Dream on, dream on.
Unfortunately, that's usually me.
Delusional people are so entertaining.
That's usually me.
Yeah.
I'm the one going, dream on. I can normally hit this guy's dream on.
It's easy in the shower, but when you get into real life,
it sounds so much better in the shower.
Yeah.
We had a woman say that last night. She goes, when I sing that song in the shower, it's really good.
Yeah, it's always good in the shower.
It's always good.
Well, listen, great to see you. We love you.
Love you, brother.
Continued success. I'm glad you're having a lot of fun out there, and keep that going, will you?
Yeah, I will, brother. I appreciate it.
That is Carlos Mencia, and this is Frazer Smith. I'm just angry and crotchety. That's how I roll. Good to see you, pal. All right, there he is, man. The great Carlos Mencia. This is the Frazer Smith Show presented by the accident attorneys at SweetJames.com. If you've been hurt in an accident, call 1-800-9-MILLION.